the first thing that most people think about when they think about retirement preparedness, they think about how prepared you are in terms of your pension pot, how much money you have, what's your balance in your pension pot. They also think about have you paid down your mortgage, and potentially if you've got other investment properties. They also think about things like investments and buying stocks and shares. Anytime we talk about retirement, this is the sort of thing people think about. Now, very few times do people say, well, I've created a lot of strength, I've created a lot of muscle, I've created a lot of things. Now, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to rebalance this, because if you do not, you are going to regret it. Just like you have got the asset classes I've just talked about, your pension pot, your mortgage paid down, your investment, and your savings, in the same way, there are at least 4 asset classes I expect everybody to be prepared for if they want to retire in dignity during their latter years. The first one is your strength. Your strength is your ability to move in the physical world without being helped by anybody. And that becomes very crucial when you're over 60. In fact, between the ages of 60 and 70, those are probably your most likely healthiest years. Beyond that, you'll not be able to move by yourself without some help. Now, when I talk about strength there, in particular, I'm talking about lower body strength. If we think about it, most old people cannot do the basic things like get out of a chair, a sofa, get off a dining chair, get off a toilet, get out of a car, all of which I call the strength of dignity. If you do not have these basic strengths, you are missing dignity, because how many times have you seen an older person sitting down on a chair, maybe in a dining situation, and they're unable to get up or without some help? Or have you seen maybe your elderly parents, maybe somebody you just know, a senior person who sits down in a sofa or an armchair and cannot get up without using their arms, and actually become really very unstable when they get up? Or worse, to get out of a car becomes a challenge, or even worse, getting off a toilet seat. All these things are not only you losing your strength, they are taking away from your dignity at a time when you should be enjoying your wealth. This is not acceptable, particularly for men over 60 who have done everything. They've given everything to the world, they've given to their families. Now they are not able to be dignified in their later life. And as you can imagine, it can get worse even. There could be sometimes when you need so much help that you'll have to be in a care home. And that is the saddest thing that can ever happen to anybody. Now, I'm not suggesting that that is the person's fault, but there are so many things we can do to mitigate that. If you spend more time gathering financial assets so that you can enjoy them, but then you did that at the expense of preparing for your body in later years, the money you've gathered will not be yours, it will not be the people who come after you. That money will become care money. It will become money for the nursing home. But that's what happens. You lose your strength, you lose your dignity, and you need people to care for you. Even if that's 3, 4, 5 years, it will wipe you out. And not only your dignity, but it will wipe out your legacy that you leave for the people who come after you. So the first thing to do, just like you prepare for your pension, prepare for your strength. The second thing is stability. Now, I don't know how many people know about this until probably they know a person it happens to, or they hear about it in the news, is that if you're not stable as an older person, the risk of falls become extremely high. And if an elderly person falls, they could break a bone, they could break a hip. And the challenging thing about this is, just because the person is frail and they become unstable, if they fall, they will break a bone. And if they break a bone, they'll become immobile. And the small amount of muscle, the lack of strength they have, become really worse very quickly. The biggest causes of accidental death for people over 60 after car accidents is actually falls. And it's incredible how quickly they can deteriorate. In fact, most over 60s, when they fall and they break a bone and they become bedridden for months, they are unlikely to recover from that. They are likely to either die of that in a matter of months or in less than 5 years. Not directly because the fall kills them, but the fall itself makes them immobile and they do not use their muscles. And because sarcopenia, which is so prevalent, is already bad in that sort of person, what happens is it suddenly becomes really worse. And that deteriorates, that causes deterioration in their health fairly quickly, and they are unlikely to survive that. So stability goes alongside the strength. The next one is flexibility. Again, this is another one that can very quickly rob you away from your dignity. Imagine a scenario wherein you're over 60, you got all your finances sorted, you are supposed to be enjoying your life, and you cannot do basic things like tie up your shoelaces or put on your trousers one leg at a time. Now, it's incredible how lack of flexibility can make you undignified and totally useless to yourself. So it's so important, and most of these things can be avoided. The other thing that you need to prepare for are your posture. Now, this is almost hiding in plain sight. If you're an older person, the likelihood is, particularly in our modern work environment, most people have developed a very funny posture, a hunched back neck, wherein they are stooped, and it's incredible how you can immediately figure out who an old person is, even if you don't get close to them. I normally give the example of you seeing a human figure working away in maybe 100 meters away in a slightly dark night. The only one of the ways you will know whether that person is old or not old is their posture and their gait. You do not need to see their face. You do not need to see any part of them. Just by their posture in a distant darkness and their gait, you will know that they're old. Again, that does not need to happen, because there are exercises, there are routines you can do to avoid that. And that, combined with lack of stability and with lack of strength and with lack of flexibility, not only makes you look old and undignified, but it can kill you, as I've already explained. So the advice is that instead of just preparing for your financial security in retirement, you have to prepare your body for retirement in exactly the same way, if not in better ways, if not with better rigor, to make sure that you can experience the world to enjoy the financial resources you've created. Now, this is such a big blind spot. We all talk about preparing financially, but no one ever talks about the other side of the equation. We treat these things as though they are different. We, in fact, treat preparing your health as something that's just nice to have, as something you just do. It's a leisure, it's a hobby. It is as important as the 30, 40, 50 years we go to work to create our retirement resources. It's, in fact, more important, because it's no point having the financial resources, but then you are not able to enjoy them. It's even worse to be the richest person in the grave, or the richest person in the retirement home, wherein all the money you've created actually have to be paid to them. If you were to check the cost of a retirement home, if you were to check the cost of a nursing home, nearly a quarter or a third of all the resources people accumulate for their retirement can quickly be wiped out in the last 3-4 years of their life if they get themselves put into a nursing home. So, message: take your body as seriously and as importantly as you take your financial resources. Ensure you have got the perfect strength, ensure for your age, ensure you've got perfect stability, ensure you've got the flexibility, ensure you've got your posture. Otherwise, the finances you've created, the wealth you've created is either not for you, it's for your third party, like nursing homes, or for people who inherited, and definitely that's not what you intended, so don't let it happen to you. Now let's go.